Hey guys, what's going on, everyone? So I know this is a bit of a different situation that I'm in right now. I know, but I'm in the kitchen right now, and I'm sitting here with my kid. There he is. And I wanted to do a podcast. I haven't done a podcast. I haven't recorded in like a month. And I really wanted to do something. There's a lot to talk about, so let's just get right into it. So welcome to the Solo Ethan Cast. This is the 4th episode of the Solo Ethan Cast. I'm your host, obviously, Ethan Hunt. And my kid is right here. So before we get into this, I've been getting emails like crazy from Word Genius. And they've been sending me new words. Word of the day. Don't know what that means. But the new word is mean. Or mean. Which is M-I-E-N. Which is a person, looks, or manner, or especially one of particular kind, indicating their character of mood. The children all had particular or cheerful friend mean. Okay. So that was the word of the day that I got emailed today, which is pretty cool. I've been getting emails like that, so I decided, why not have you guys learn something new every time you listen to this? So that was the word of the day. Today is the 28th. My kid just turned 5 months. Holy moly, man. He's 5 months. Can you believe that, buddy? 5 months. He's smiling over there. But yeah, he is currently 5 months. A lot has happened to him. So he's able to roll over somewhat. He's able, whenever he's on his stomach, tummy time, whatever we call it, he's able to lift himself over, and then he can roll over to his back. He's just watching me just move around my hands like crazy. And so he's able to move around. He is currently teething right now, which is a nightmare. He's calm right now. I have him in the high chair. He's not eating anything. He's just watching me do this. So I was like, all right, I'll just do that. I don't know if this is the right microphone. It's okay, buddy. Yep, it is. Okay. I was just making sure something. But yeah, so a lot's happened. He is very, very, he's learning very fast. He's very happy, and he's been very fussy. That's why I haven't been able to record lately. But, this is, I was supposed to clean the house, but someone wants to be a little fuss pants. So I guess I'll just record this video and do a solo Ethan cast. So, a lot's happened. I've been marathoning a bunch of podcasts. I've been listening to like a little bit of Joe Rogan's cast, some of Super Mega Cast, Misfits. Yeah. The Misfits podcast. I've been listening to the Duncan Trussell Family Hour. I've been listening to Bob Saget's Here For You. And I'm going to get into detail about that. I did watch a little bit of movies, and I'm going to get into like some topics that I want to talk about. And hopefully this is going to be a lot longer podcast than my usual Solo Ethan cast. Except for the episode 3, which I uploaded yesterday, which was actually pretty cool. It was me and Joe, and we were talking about the Legend of Korra, The Last Airbender, and all that stuff. So, one thing I'm going to talk about is topics these days that the Misfits. I've been listening to the Misfits podcast, and it's not as entertaining. They don't have a lot to talk about. They talk about some of the same things, and it's kind of boring because they're kept up capitative in their homes because of the pandemic that we're in, and they're just running out of ideas. Whereas the Super Mega Cast, they're out of ideas, but they're more entertaining. They have stuff to talk about. They have they have stuff to talk about, and I think it's a lot more entertaining and more quality than the Misfits. The Misfits talk about like the same things, and then Super Mega Cast talk about like streaming and doing games that they have. See, my son wants to join in today, so this is me and Ben's podcast. It's still the Solo Ethan cast, but he's featured in this. Yeah, slam your hand like that. You're not allowed to play in this, though. You know that. But yeah, a lot's happened. So yeah, I've been listening to those. I just got caught up with the Super Mega Cast. I stopped listening to the Misfits podcast because I got bored of it. Deep Cuts. I've been listening to a lot of Deep Cuts. I just got caught up with Deep Cuts. I started Deep Cuts like a week ago, and then I got caught up like 5 days later because there was like 30 something episodes, and I was like, okay, I want to listen to this. Deep Cuts, look up these podcasts. They're all on Spotify. I've been listening to podcasts, trying to find out what to talk about because there's not a lot to talk about. So yeah, I've been listening to Deep Cuts. Then I went to the Bob Saget's Here For You. I just got caught up with that a couple days ago. Basically, it's Bob Saget's podcast where he will talk to either guest people that he loves, or he'll talk to one of you guys. He sends out his number and he talks to fans of Bob Saget and everything, and it's pretty cool. And then I love the Bob Saget is Here For You. It's just a great podcast. I'm glad he's doing it. I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast. I only listen to the guest stars that I know. I listened to the one with David Blaine, which I don't really know a lot about David Blaine, but basically David Blaine did some cool tricks on there, and you guys should definitely check it out. And it's very, very entertaining, and I love it. It's like, yeah. I listened to one with Ron White, Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus, I don't really like her songs, but like the Miley Cyrus one was very entertaining. I learned a lot about her early life and that she did drugs and blah blah blah, and now she's sober and she sounds weird. Like, you guys should just listen to it. And then I watched the one with Duncan Trussell. Duncan Trussell is like a whole different topic, but that's the only way I actually went to Midnight Gospel. So I watched, before I found out who Duncan Trussell was, and Midnight Gospel is on Netflix for all you guys that want to watch it. It's a very, very nice show, and I love this show, and it's very cool. It's basically, so it's basically like a podcast, but he's like moving around. He's doing all these action moves, and it's just like, it's so good animated, and you guys should watch it. It's on Netflix right now. Like, I'm like advertising all this stuff, and I'm not getting paid for this. Like, go ahead, just listen, watch the Midnight Gospel. Like, the last episode's my favorite episode, and it's very emotional for the last episode, and yeah. But I didn't know Duncan Trussell had a podcast. So I was listening to Duncan Trussell talk with Joe Rogan back in 2012, and then I've been listening to all the podcasts that he's been on with Joe Rogan. And then I was trying to find his podcast, and then I found it on Spotify. And he did podcasts with like Dan Harmon, Justin Roiland, the creators of Rick and Morty. What? That was amazing. I was so excited to listen to that and watch it. And it was very entertaining and stuff. And I was very happy at that. And then no, you can't have that in your mouth. But yeah, the Joe Rogan podcast, and then Duncan Trussell. Duncan Trussell is fucking amazing. I love listening to Duncan Trussell. I'm literally listening to him like right now. I'm trying to catch up on the Duncan Trussell Family Hour, which is the podcast. He has his own website, so it's free to listen to it. I've been listening to the Duncan Trussell Family Hour. Then I've been listening. So he does a bunch of like guests, like religious guests. He's a religious guy. I think he's like a Buddhist or something like that. Yeah. I think he's like a Buddhist or something. He does meditation. He believes in reincarnation, the next life, and stuff like that. But he's taught me a lot, and he's taught me that meditation is a way to, like, everyone dies. Everyone dies. Yes, you're gonna die. Everyone's gonna die. I'm gonna die. My son's gonna die. Everyone's gonna die. Bless you. But he believes that meditation is a way to have you get ready for death and stuff like that. It helps you get ready for death, and it helps you just relieve yourself. And that's one thing I really enjoy, is that it just helps you to get ready for death and accept it. Basically, that's acceptance. Like, oh, I'm gonna die. Well, might as well not be scared of it, and might just accept it. I'm gonna die. Om. But yeah, and he talks to like his meditation teacher. He talks to like a bunch of cool people. And this is gonna bring me up to my next topic, but there's this guy named McCade Brooks, which I envy. Like, this guy is amazing. I wish I wish this guy could just talk more. I would listen to him for hours. And he's had him for a couple podcasts. So the first time he had him, he was talking about his near-death experience and stuff like that. Like, he almost died. He saw a light at the end of the tunnel and stuff like that. And then it turned out to be lights in the hospital. And he had a near-death experience. He came back. He's in so much pain. And then he lived. He had like, I don't know what it was called. I might have to listen to the podcast again, but I loved it. It was great. And then he talked again, and this was around the time with George Floyd, which I have an opinion on that, but I'm going to talk about it after this. This is going to bring up my next topic. But basically what he talked about, and I want to talk to my friend E-Tron about this soon, about this topic. And I might see if like any of my, well, not right now. But yeah, and it just brings you to a different level. And oh, Sorry, I was looking at something. Um, but yeah, so what he was talking about is like he's an African American. And I started to talk to this about my first solo Ethan cast. But he's an African American that was told that he was, I don't remember what age. I think he was either 6 to 9 years old, and he was told by his own mother that he would have to comply to being arrested by a police officer. If they arrest you, if they stop you, do not put your hands in your pocket. Comply to them. If they tell you to put your hands behind your back, you have to do it and comply. And if they handcuff you, you just have to do it. And that's basically what his mother told him at this age, is that they will tell you to have to comply. And I think that's wrong. And that's something that's always been around, is racism. Like, I don't see color. I don't care what race you are. It doesn't matter, because everyone's equal. And that's something that Martin Luther King Jr. was trying to comply, is that I want to see all my brothers and all my white brothers or like my black brothers come together and hold hands. Like, he wanted to have everyone comply and be together. And we're still not there, even after 50 or 60 years. 60 years from now, we are still at the same state. There is no slavery. Black people don't have to be on the back of the bus, but we still are racist. We are still there. And that's something that we are going to be in for a long time. And that's a topic that I want to talk to each on about it. I will tell everyone about my own opinion, what I think, on the Dual Ethan Cast episode 4 or 5. I don't know. I think it's episode 4. Yeah, it's episode 4. But yeah, I wanted to do that. But McCade Brooks, he's a great man. Check out the Duncan Trussell Family Hour podcast where he's in. McCade Brooks, great man. I want to listen to his stories all over again. I would listen to it for hours. So enough about all the podcasts that I've been listening to. Let's talk about like all the movies I've been watching. So I watched Benjamin Button. And Benjamin Button was a great movie. I've always wanted to watch it because it was about a baby that was born an old man. And it's like a baby with like arthritis and old. It's like dying and blah, blah, blah. It was an old man and a baby's body. Or it was an old baby. Something like that. I don't know. He was aging backwards. That's basically how I could explain it. Yeah. Benjamin, I told you not to bite that, and you're doing that on purpose so you can mess with me, aren't you? But yeah, I enjoyed it. I've always wanted to watch it, and I liked it. There's not a lot to talk about with the movie, but I'm glad I watched it. And I love the clock moving backwards instead of forward, because you could never have the time go back. And that signified what Benjamin Button was. He was born at the war and blah, blah, blah. I did not know that Benjamin Button was the Curious Case of Benjamin Button was made by the same creator as The Great Gatsby. What? I didn't know that. And I was like, whoa, The Great Gatsby was really good. But The Curious Case of... And I really want to read The Curious Case of The Great Gatsby book. Because I know it's going to be different, because the time set is going to be different, because he made this book, I think, before the war ended, like while the war was ending. I don't know. But I know, like, it was, I don't know, let me see. War ended 1945. Yeah. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. When was this book released? I don't care. Book. The book was released 1922. So it was before the war ended. Because F. Scott Fitzgerald died before the war actually ended. Oh. He died in 1940. Oh, he was only like 50. No, he was 44. He was 44 years old when he died. And that's very young, but he was a great author. He made The Great Gatsby, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and then Tender is the Night, The Side of a Paradise. He's made a lot of books for his age. Okay. Oh, they all came out 1922, 1920. They all... Okay, so the last book that he made was The Love of the Last Tycoon, which I do want to read. And that was finished... No. What? The Babylon Revisit? Okay, I need to stop looking at this. But, like... I was so happy that he made that book, and I really want to read that book. I might order it from Amazon. Yeah, I might order it from Amazon and then read it or get an Audible. I don't know. But yeah, and then I also want to talk about like time travel, because technically that was time backwards. But I feel like time travel, I don't think we're ever going to have time travel. I think that's a wrong thing to do. If we do have time travel, we can't interact with anything. I feel like we shouldn't interact with anything. We shouldn't touch anything. We shouldn't do anything. And with the timeline, we should keep the timeline intact, because it could fuck up our timeline and people could get rich and blah, blah, blah for being in the future and going back in time. Or we should only be able to go into the future, but we can't touch the timeline either. So, okay, I do want to talk about microphones. So Shure just released their new Shure microphone, the Shure MV7, which is amazing. I've seen reviews over it, and I love it. I'm going to keep this microphone, though. I'm not going to buy that because I don't have the money, blah, blah, blah. It's okay. But the Shure MV... My son. You want to come in? Yeah. I love you, Ben. All right, so the Shure MV7, which is amazing. And it's a microphone I would love to have, because the Shure M7B is my dream microphone. But that is as close as I'm going to get it. And it's only $250. And it's USB. I'm only going to use the USB portion of it, because I have a USB on this, and I don't know, I just want to do that. And it's very amazing. But yeah, Shure MV7, Shure released their new microphone. And then I heard detail about, what is it? Behringer released detail about their new microphone. I think it's called Sasquatch or Bigfoot. I think it's called Bigfoot. I can't check that one. I think, okay, let me check that. I've been listening to a lot. I've been watching Podcastage which is Bandrew. Okay, so it's called Bigfoot. Behringer Bigfoot, which is basically, I'm pretty sure it's going to be it's going to be compared to the Blue Yeti. So basically what it is a different kind of the Blue Yeti. I think it's going to be brown instead of like the silver, because it's supposed to be Bigfoot. You got the Yeti, then you got the Bigfoot, because Bigfoot is usually in forest, blah blah blah, and then the Yeti's in like the snow area, kind of like polar bears and grizzlies, blah blah blah. That's basically what he was talking. That's basically said, and that's what they're trying to release, and I'm very excited about that. It's gonna be awesome. What's wrong, Benjamin? You can't have that. I'm very excited about that, but all right. So my son is currently fussing. This has been a great, well, he's all right. So I'm going to end this. I'm just going to tell you guys thank you for listening. My son is currently fussing right now. I want to hit the 30-minute mark, but that's not going to happen. So thank you for listening. I'm going to go tend to my child. Thank you for the 4th episode of the Dual Ethan Cast, or Solo Ethan Cast. I will see you in the Dual Ethan Cast with Etron, where I'm going to be talking about very good and nice topics with him. And thank you and good night.